Introducing the Ryoan Ji, also known as the Peaceful Dragon Temple. The Ryoan Ji Zen Temple of the Myoshin-ji school of Rinzai Zen Buddhism was originally an elaborate residence of the Fujiwara estate in Kyoto, Japan, containing a temple and the tombs of 5 previous emperors, which were largely destroyed in the Onin War. The area was then converted into a Zen temple in 1473 CE, the temple itself being constructed circa 1488 to 1499 CE. However, despite careful recollection of the history of the inhabitants and the property, the actual artist behind the 15th century temple is lost. The stone garden is sometimes attributed to the famous artist Somi, a painter and landscape artist who reportedly designed other rock gardens, including Ginkaku-ji. The Ryoan Ji Temple consists of multiple building structures and gardens, including outside features which consist of stone, wood, paper, moss, and landscaping. The contents of which include the Karen Sansui Garden, which contains 15 large stones set in moss in a large bed of gravel, which has been manipulated similarly to sand raking. Interestingly, no matter where one sits, only 14 stones can be seen at one time. Low plaster-covered walls establish the garden's boundaries, but beyond the perimeter wall, maple, pine, and cherry trees add color and texture to the scene. Called borrowed scenery, these elements are considered part of the design even though they grow outside the garden. The garden is celebrated for its severity and emptiness from aesthetic perceptions. Some scholars and worshippers interpret the stones in the garden as a tiger's carrying her cub, while others see it as the Chinese character for heart. Many other ideas have been offered over time, too numerous to list here. Other aspects of the temple include the hojo, a wooden structure which contains tatami boards and painted sliding doors. The sukubai, a wash basin carved from stone where water constantly flows for the purpose of ritual hand washing, inscribed with kanji stating, "Content yourself with what you have," one of the teachings of Buddhism's anti-materialistic doctrine. Another is Kyoyo-chi, mirror-shaped pond, or more informally, Oshidori, the pond of mandarin ducks. Due to the presence of a large number of these birds, the pond garden is a remnant of the 12th century villa owned by a member of the Fujiwara clan. The Myoshin-ji school of Rinzai Zen Buddhism is derived from one of the sects of Zen Buddhism, which emphasizes abrupt enlightenment and contains practices involving blows given by a Zen master, question and answer sessions, and meditation on paradoxes to enable worshippers to achieve enlightenment. Because the artist behind the piece is unknown, the specific symbolism of the piece is also unknown. However, as a Zen Buddhist temple, the Ryoan-ji serves as a place of worship and reflection, at which worshippers hope to enhance their meditative abilities and attain enlightenment. It was made to be a place of peace and serenity, while also noting the rich history of the land on which it was built. Multiple aspects of the temple, including the dry garden, are implied to facilitate enlightenment through paradoxical situations and reminders of the core beliefs of Zen Buddhism. Zen Buddhism is a sect of Buddhism which prioritizes achieving enlightenment. Meditation is a peaceful practice of introspection, reflection, and consideration of an idea with an open mind. Nirvana is the Buddhist concept of peace and transcendence, sometimes compared to the Christian heaven, though they are not the same. Karen Sansui is a dry garden, such as one with stones and gravel instead of plants and soil. Hojo is in this case a building, though it usually means an item or aid. It can also mean aristocrat. Sukubai is a sacred water well for ceremonial washing. Enlightenment, according to Zen Buddhism, is achieving an understanding of your most natural and innate self. Within Buddhism, enlightenment is tied to transcending the need for earthly desires and allows the enlightened to escape the cycle of rebirth. Tatami, bamboo mats are usually placed on the floor for walking on, sitting on, or even sleeping on. Borrowed scenery, aspects from around an artwork that contribute to the art or how it is perceived. Themes of this piece are religion, peace, power, divinity, and history. The Ryoan Ji and Kaaba are both repurposed sites which have religious significance and serve as a place of worship. While both use calligraphy to artistically express their core beliefs of their patron culture, a distinct difference between the two is evident in the fact that while Islam avoids depiction of figures due to the belief in iconoclasm, the inside of the Hojo is covered in ornate paintings depicting historical figures. The Ryoan Ji is also a more private and personal site in comparison with the Kaaba, to which every Muslim is expected to journey at least once in their life. Quiz time! Question 1. What resided in the land where Ryoan Ji was built prior to its construction? A. An estate and temple of the aristocratic. A. An estate and temple of the aristocratic family. B. A Theravada Buddhist temple. C. The grave of a samurai. D. A Shinto shrine. The answer is A. Question 2. What is it called when an artwork or landscape is influenced by the area around the work? A. Complementary art. B. Juxtapositioning. C. Borrowed scenery. D. Camouflage. The answer is C. Question 3. When was the Ryoan Ji temple built? A. 1530 to 1535 CE. B. The 14th century. C. 1455 to 1477 CE. D. 1488 to 1499 CE. The answer is D. Question 4. What is a core belief of Zen Buddhism? Be content with what you have. There is only one God. Education leads to enlightenment. Only Buddhists can achieve nirvana. The correct answer is A. Question 5. How many stones are there in the Karen Sansui garden? A. 6. B. 15. C. 18. Or D. 14. The correct answer is B.